If you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I call you guys Holy Hunts because that's just what I do around here. Because we're all about God, we're all about love, we're all about kindness and joy in this place. Okay, and as you can see by the title, it's a book review. If y'all don't know, new or old, I love to read. Like, that is one of my many hobbies. I just love to read. Like, if you give me a good book, I could just sit there and I'd be good for hours. I could read a whole book in a day, but I just like, it takes the fun out of it all. I like to just, disperse it all. But yeah, this is a special video, a very fun video. I actually did record this already, but I had to record it, record it. Yeah. And we're snowed in. We're in the middle of a snowstorm right now, so this is a perfect time to do so. So the first time I did this video, I just did the books that were in this thing. I do need a bookshelf. I have a bookshelf, but it was not holding this. Like, it literally almost broke because of the weight of these books. Because you see how many books this is? And this is like, these books, like, look at this book. Look how thick this book is, and that's just one. Way down the whole thing. Where's my other book at? That was right here. That one's thick too. Okay, but yeah. At first I just reviewed these, but I'm going to actually show these with addition of these books as well. And the ultimate one, a surprise at the end. But yeah, I was about to pause it like it's in the TikTok, but this ain't a TikTok, so I'm gonna continue on. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna start with the books that aren't in here, cause yeah. And then the last book is gonna be the best book of all, So this book, it's called 365 Read Aloud Bedtime Bible Stories. You would think that this is for a kid. It can be for a kid, but it can also be for like someone around my age or older, because like it simplifies. It makes it's not simplifies, but like summarizes all of the very significant stories in the Bible, like Noah's Ark, like Moses, like Abel, and he's like the twins, like Adam and Eve, like all of them, like all of the stories throughout the whole Bible. And it just like, it summarizes it, all because like me personally, I've been reading the Bible consistently for about about 3 or 4 years now, and I still have, like, I still sometimes, because I'm human, I forget things, so I still sometimes get stories and names mixed up, so this helps me remember. This keeps me reminded, So this is a good book. It's by, who is it by? I don't know who it's by. It doesn't say, but I'm gonna rate these out of 10, 1 being mid, one being and 10 being great. I give this book a 9. Well, I give it, 9. It's a good book, and it has illustrations too if you're a visual person. And I also, if you really want to read the book, like, it's kind of like this, it's more like mature, I guess you could say, but it's called the Action Bible. If you're more like a visual person and you want to get started to reading the Bible, and you want to like actually like visualize everything, because that's how you learn, I recommend that. The Action Bible. I'm sure like public libraries have it, and you can find it online if you want to have a personal one as well. So yeah, Joel Osteen, The Power of Faith. So I did not finish this book because I don't know, I really don't know. It does have a lot of good lessons in it, but I don't know, I guess it just, when I read it at the time, it wasn't really for me. But if you're looking to get into those kind of books, it's like it's less like, I guess you can enjoy it too, but like if you're more into reading books that are informative and like, on the academic level, like you're learning from it more so than just enjoying it or passing time, then this will be a good book. If you're like really into God and everything, This is a good book. I give this a 7 out of 10. Like, again, I have not finished the book, so maybe someone else would have a better rating on it if they finished it, but I have not yet finished it. But from I got some good quotes from it because I've been like, that's the good thing about owning your book. Like, it's nothing bad about a free library book, but I personally like to just jot down things and write in the book, like underline, so I can remember, because they be really talking. But yeah, so out of 10, yeah, I give this a 7. Book, I got this off of Amazon. All of these books I got from Amazon. So these I don't know where I got that from, but yeah, it's called Trust. It's about like a group of women who in a book club, and they just like, it's like money. It's about money and stuff. They start a little thing where they put money into a thing, and it's like they save together and stuff like that. I thought this was more about God. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more so about the money thing. So I didn't finish this book either, so I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. It has good like community, I guess. It's like, if you think about it, because the women, they work together, they help each other out and stuff like that. So yeah, the author is Danes L. Reed. A 7.5 out of 10 for me personally, y'all. I'm sure there will be other ratings from other people because everybody has. So this is actually a series 2, but I only have 1. I think I might get the other ones at some point, but this is called The Trouble with Love, and the book series is called Faith and Fortune, and it's about this woman. She's a musical artist and stuff like that. She lives with her friends, and she falls in love with one of her roommate's brothers, and he's like really committed to God. Like, you know, he's really locked in with God, and he rubs off on her. She learns a lot about God from him and stuff like that. And it's just like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, she learns a lot from him, and like he's the one who introduces her to Jesus Christ, and she starts her own relationship with God. She starts praying, she starts reading the Bible, she starts going to church and everything, and it's like her life just turns around and everything. Yeah, I think it's a good book as well. It has a good message, you know, like for people, if you're looking into like Christian fiction, I'm the one to go, because I have the hookup, y'all. Not the hookup, but like I have some really good recommendations, authors as well. Toni Shiloh. This is the first book I have of hers, and I think so. Yeah. And I think it's good. I'm into it, so I'll give this 8 out of 10 as well. That's only, I guess, because it's comparing to the other books, and they're like, I can relate more to the other ones, but this is still a really good book, so 8 out of 10. Again, Toni Shiloh at the bottom right there. Yep. There's this book called Something Good. This really has a lot of plot twists, and I love the dynamic of it all. Like, a lot of the books that I have are really similar, because it's like, it's not just about one. It doesn't have one protagonist. It's like 4, but it's like they have separate problems going on, but then they all come together. It's just like, it's such a good dynamic. And in this book, it's a lot going on. It's like, so there's one young man. He was, I guess he was an athlete, but then I think he was a football player, but he was in college, and then there was an accident, like a car accident, which left him paralyzed, and he was not able to do anything, and he lost confidence and security in himself. So yeah, but like when he was in college and thriving and all that stuff, he was able-bodied. He met this woman, and this girl, and they got together, and she got pregnant, but the man who was now paralyzed, didn't know that he had a baby until a while later, and she showed up at his house. It was like, this is your baby. She didn't have the best manners, but yeah. Give me a second, y'all. So my dad called, and yeah, that was that, really. But I forgot what I was talking about. But is this book really good? On the title it says Something Good by Vanessa Miller. That's the author of the book, of course. And it says 3 women, 2 mistakes, 1 surprising friendship that changes everything. So this is Marquita. She's the young woman who had the relations with the young man who was paralyzed in an accident. And the young man's name is John. So they end up, like, after she had the baby and everything, despite their differences and her differences with his family, they was like, they helped her out, and they were able to spend time together. And he was able to meet his son, Moochie. Yeah. And then this is Trish, that's John's mom. She was very indifferent about the whole situation because they raised him a certain way, not to have premarital sex, but he still had it, and he ended up having a baby, and she was mad about it, but she was like, but that's still my grandson. So she welcomed the young lady Marquita into her house and everything like that, and they forgave, and they mended, they found peace and everything, and they became a big family. And then this is what's her name, Alexis. She was the one who caused the accident that led to John's paralyzation. She felt really bad about it, but her husband was like, this is not good for our image, so we just gonna pay the people and act like it never happened. But she still had a guilty conscience, so she went to their house and wanted to mend fences, and they found peace in that. They found forgiveness as well, and it was a really nice thing. It does mention the Bible in here. It's not the main focus, but they do mention God. It's like, you can tell it's a presence of God in this book, and it's about forgiveness and peace and understanding, and just like things like that. So I think it's a really good book as well. If you're into like plot twists and reconciliation and forgiveness and everything, I recommend this book. I give this book a 7 out of 10. Again, really good book. Amazon. This is called Cherished. Love it. And this is by my girl, Kim Cash Tate. I don't know her, but she's my girl, okay? Because I love her books down. I love them. Yeah. I probably have, out of all of the books that I have, most of them, the majority of them are from Kim Cash Tate. Kim Cash Tate, number one fan. But anyways, this is called Cherished. This is about a young lady named Kelly. She had the passion and the dream of becoming a songwriter. She had a really good voice and everything like that. And when she was younger, she had a relationship with this man, and she got pregnant. But she was like, I'm not ready to have a child. So she ended up, not having a baby. But back then, when that was happening, and she was young, and she told them, the man she was in a relationship with, he wasn't really supporting in any way, so she felt abandoned by him or defeated. So she stopped really talking to him, but like, she found letters from him or something like that. Yeah. Like, and then she this is about like letting go of the past, because she had a really hard time letting go of that situation, because it was like, it really changed her. And the man that she was in a relationship at the time, he came back around, and she ended up forgiving him, and they reconciled and reunited and everything like that. I'm pretty sure they got married. Yeah. Really good book. It's sad. Really, really sad. Tearjerker, for sure. I recommend it though. 8.5 out of 10. Amazon. And then there's Faithful. I really like this book as well because it's so like wait, what is it called? Like, you can't even think about it. It's like you won't even know what's going on next, you know? But it's a really good book. It's called Faithful, again by Kim Cash Tate. And it's about a young woman named, a young lady, a lady named Sydney, or aka Sid, everybody calls her Sid. But she was like, she never really like had that kind of relationship. She didn't have like a partner before, a significant other before, and she's like in her 40s. And she ends up going to her little sister Stephanie. She gets married, and the best man at her sister's wedding, which is also her little sister's husband brother, they have some kind of dynamic. And at the time, they both had around the same age, but at the time, the best man, he's around. He's like, he be talking to every woman, he be having sex with everybody, stuff like that. And she's like, I'm not with that. He was pursuing her. And she was like, I'm not with that. I've never been with a man, and I'm not about to start with you because I know how you are, and da 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 da. She wasn't really feeling him in the beginning, but then it was like when they set boundaries and they made God the center of their relationship, they started over, and they ended up having a really strong relationship. And then they got married, and then they had a baby. Yes, they started a relationship at 40 years old, but they had a baby. His name is Miles. Chase. I'm sorry, I'll say Miles. His name is Chase, and it's like a really cute love story, very unexpected as well. So this like 8.5 out of 10 as well. Really good book. Yes. Oh yeah, of course, it has something to do with God. Yeah. Celebrate the power of female friendship in the never ceasing faithfulness of God. Yeah. I can't tell you which one's in order, but they're little, because I done read them. Yeah. But this one is called, so this is the series, it's called Promises of God. Yeah. Very good. All of them 10 out of 10. Just from the start. But this one is called As Long As I Clean. This is the thickest book, as you can see, but they're all pretty thick. But this is the thickest one. So like I said, it has 3 or 4 protagonists. This one has 3. Tommy Porter. I'm gonna summarize it. He's at a difficult part in his life, and he doesn't know what's going on. Like he's recently divorced for the 2nd time, and he's at the point where he's just like, I'm just gonna be single for the rest of my life. I don't really care about any of that. I'm gonna be single. But then God was like, that's not what I want for you right now. Yes, I'm gonna give you the time to heal, but you're not gonna be single for the rest of your life. He's kind of giving up on love because he thinks everything is just going to end up the same way every single time. But his best friend from college, Jillian, they end up having a relationship. Basically. Yeah. And then there's Stephanie London. Actually, that is the sister of Sydney. You know how Sydney, she's with her husband, the marriage that led Sydney to be with her man. But like they're not in a good place right now. She was thinking of leaving her husband because he was off in a different country, saving people's lives. But he was like, she felt abandoned by him. Their relationship was at a rocky place, and she left their home to come, bless me, to be closer to their family and everything like that. But they decided to trust in God and rekindle their relationship. And yeah, and then there's Jade, of Jade and Jordan Rogers. They're twin sisters, and they, like, in the beginning, they were not really messing with God at all. They were just like into the whole fame and fortune and money and all that stuff type of deal, you know. But she eventually found God. She felt like she was in her sister's shadow. She felt like she had no identity, and she found herself in God. Yeah. I forget because all these books kind of blur together. They're really good, but it's just like they kind of blur together because they all have the same people in them. But As Long as I Clean, they really do touch on this message. Like the title of the book has a really deep meaning, a very big significance within the book, and these books really do touch on God. Like, they mention scriptures, and they have Bible studies. They talk about church and the sermons and like the depth of everything. God is really centered in all of these books. So if you're really, 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 really locked in with God and you really want to have something to read, it's just like that you can actually learn from, but like not just from just the words, like just this, but like from the experiences of these people. I really recommend this book series because it's very realistic, and I feel like it's very relatable as well. So this one, 10 out of 10. And then this one, As Long as If I Believe, I'm sorry. This one's about Cinda. She was a young lady who was looking for, so she had just recently lost her mother and her grandmother. So she was all alone, but she's grown, but she has no one. That's all she had. She never met her dad. But then she went seeking for her dad. She found him, and they rekindled their relationship. He had a family of his own, twins, Jade and Jordan Rogers, and his wife. But they weren't really messing with her because they thought that she came just to be around his money. That wasn't the case. She just wanted to know her father. But yeah, she got to know him, but unfortunately he ended up passing away like shortly after they met. So she again lost everybody, but then she found a new family and like everybody who else was around her. And then she also started a relationship with a man, Alonzo Coates, and he's an actor. He wasn't really locked in with God as well. It's just like, yes, he said he was a Christian. He told everybody he was a Christian, but the actions that he had were very Christ-like or godly. Yet when he started his relationship with Cinda, they centered their relationship on God, and it was like they had something different. They ended up having a nice relationship. It was kind of off and on at some points, but then they got married as well. Cinda ended up being his stylist, and Alonzo Coates, he was just doing what he did, but like it was more centered on God. And then there's Treva. So in this book, this is about like, so there's actually ones before this, but I literally couldn't tell you the order unless I really read it over again. But basically, Treva, she is the older sister of Jillian that I mentioned. That's Tommy's best friend. But Treva, she is newly married to the pastor, Lance Alexander. But she was before that, she didn't have any relationship for real because she lost her husband. She was a widow. Her husband passed away. Yeah, and then as she was getting older, she's older than her new husband, but because I don't know, yeah, I'm just babbling at this point. But basically in this book, If I Believe, Treva ends up getting pregnant, and she is also older, like she's in her 40s, and she doesn't believe that she needs to be pregnant this time. She thinks it's going to be tough and scary and everything like that, and it really was. Actually, she had some difficulties, but she ended up having a healthy son. Yeah, so it's like I guess it's about if I believe, because the last person is Faith. That's also Trevor's oldest child from her first marriage. I think she has 3 daughters and 1 son. The son is by her new marriage, but she's a young mom, new mom. She actually had a baby in college, and she's really doing this all on her own. And she has an on again, off again relationship with the father of her baby, but it's not a good relationship because he keeps cheating on her and doing her wrong and everything like that. But she still continues to like stay close to God, but it's just like she doesn't really know what's going on. And each of these people, they're, as it says, if I believe, they're like, if they believe in the season that they're in, if they believe that what they're doing right now is what God is telling them to do, like if they believe in God's way, in His will. So each of these people, they're all just like struggling to trust in the plan that God has for them and the season that they're in and everything that's going on. But they eventually seek Him and find clarity in all of their situation and peace. Really good book, 10 out of 10, recommend. And then this one, Do I Stumble? 20 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10, BMS. But yeah, it says, 4 women, 1 weekend in their lives will never be the same. Oh, and this one says, if I believe, sometimes the biggest risk is daring to hope. And then the other one, as long as I cling to promises, is His presence. Okay, this one is about the 4 women. Trevor again, Stephanie again, Jillian again, and Faith again. So they all have a lot going on in this book. They all end up going to a women's conference in St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken. And in this book, Stephanie, she leaves her husband, but she ends up leaning on alcohol instead of God, and she goes through that phase of just drowning her sorrows with alcohol. Trevor, she's still struggling with the loss of her husband Hezekiah. But then she meets Langston. No, sorry, that's not his name. Wait, isn't that his name? No, his name is Lance. She meets Lance, and they start a relationship. She's afraid because she hasn't had a relationship since Hezekiah, and he was the first person she was ever with. So she's struggling to trust that everything will be okay and stuff like that. And she actually finds peace in, you know, her grief and her loss, in the mourning of everything. She starts a new path. And then Jillian, oh yeah, like she got marital issues. And then Faith, again with the whole the father of her baby, they were together at that point, but then it's like they ended up not being because she found him cheating with another woman. So all of these women, they end up all at the women's conference. I'm gonna read the last part. It says 4 women in different seasons of life converge at a women's conference with a theme that charges them to run in hot pursuit for Christ. But how do they run when challenges seem insurmountable? And can they help one another navigate the difficult terrain? So they all are leaning on the promises of God. This is why this is called a Promises of God novel. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, BMS. And then this, When I'm Tempted. It literally just says, it doesn't say anybody on here, but it's about certain people. It's about these 4 people. There's always a way of escape. So it's about temptation, really, lust, sin. Yeah. It says Living Hope Church has seen its pastor get married in a nucleus of friends and family overcome adversity as they endeavor to grow as believers in Christ. But a trouble-free life isn't promised. The road gets bumpy once again. Join Sid, Lance, Jillian, Jordan, Tommy, and others as they discover that no one is immune to temptation, but will they learn the truth of God's promise that there's always a way of escape. So if you're seeking to read, like if you're seeking community, or if you're in a season of temptation, maybe this book is really good for you, because I recommend this book for you because it really does touch on like the different stages of temptation, the different ways that you can be tempted by Satan, and how you can cling to God and the promises of God in order to flee from temptation, flee from the sin, to find strength in God's joy. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Y'all, this is not even the last book. I mean, that's all of my Kim Cash Tate books. I 1,000% recommend these because you can really learn a lot, and they're very entertaining as well. So these series by Joan Mbola, very good author as well. I'm gonna show you the name. So if you Joan Mbola on Amazon. So this is book 1. This is about, this is called The One Who Knows Me. This is about Tiana and Jaden. They are freshmen in college. They start a new leaf. They both have very dark pasts that they're still clinging on to. But despite their past, they end up having a really God-based relationship. And they seek each other. They seek God and they seek each other. And they find peace with their relationships through each other, and they with their relationship, they learn how to let go of the past and to live in the present. They have a really beautiful relationship. It's really nice. And then from this book, it goes to The One Who Loves Me. So it's about Amara and Raymond. Amara is actually Tiana's best friend. High school best friend, but best friend in general, really. But Mara, she goes somewhere else. She has a different path. She gets her dream job in Atlanta, and she meets Raymond. She's already talking to somebody else, and that's like her type. But it's just like Raymond is the one that she really should be with. God is the one who presented Raymond to her. He's really kind and loving and attentive and everything like that. The man that she's with and she's talking to, he's not any of those things really. He's just a pretty face, and she struggles with that. And it's just like, oh yeah, 9 out of 10. Sorry. But she struggles with decision. Should I be with the man that I really think is really hot and fine, or should I be with this man that I'm not usually attracted to, but I have some kind of attraction to because God is telling me that he's the one? They end up getting together, and he treats her well. They have a really nice relationship. It's all about God. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. And then there's book 3, The One Who Sees Me. So Heather is actually Tiana's college roommate, but this is after college, obviously. But Heather actually, when they were in college, in the first book, it talks about her a little bit, and she's very rebellious and angry and mad at the world, and she hates everybody. So her and Tiana didn't really have a really good relationship in the beginning, but then they end up near the end of the book, they find peace in their situation as well, and they reconcile things, and they become really good friends. And Tiana introduces Jesus Christ to her, and she has a relationship. But this book is about her after college, and she gets a job at this firm. It's about Heather and Emmanuel. Emmanuel, he's the director of the company. It's a family business and everything like that. They start a relationship. They both have very dark pasts as well. They struggle with letting go of the past and wanting to live in the present, but they have a really good relationship. Center of God, 9 out of 10. And then this one, about Olana and Alex. Olana is actually, I thought her name was Olana. Yeah, Olana and Alex. Olana is actually Emmanuel's little sister. So she has a relationship with this man. Her dad is not very accepting of the relationship, but she has it anyway. They fall in love and all of that stuff and stuff like that. It's really yeah, these books are really good. They're realistic as well, but it kind of has a kind of like fairy tale type thing to it. But it's really like it's realistic if you're really like if you really think about it. I really do recommend these books as well. If you're more so just looking for something to read, and if you're into like romance books, I really recommend Joan and Bola on Amazon. Yes. So that is all the books, y'all. Got this. And last of all, the Bible. 66 books. 2 separate parts. Old Testament, New Testament. 1,000 stories. 1,000 messages and lessons. BMS broke my scale. Like, I really do recommend you read the Bible for yourself. Not just on the Bible app, but like get the physical thing. It's nothing better than a good, fresh Bible. I truly do recommend this because you can be saved by the Bible. I'm not even playing. I'm so serious. So, yeah. But yeah, that's all. I really had fun talking about these. And as you can tell, I could yap for days about these books. But I kind of just did it for like 40 minutes. So it's just like a glimpse of how much I could really be talking about these books. But I really do recommend all of these books for everyone. If you're not into it, I mean, you can always just look it up on Amazon or just Google like the kind of book that you're looking for. But these are all really great books. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did. I love y'all, holy hunts, and I'll see you on the next one. Toodles.